Up, Christie, what happens when the man you betrayed files suit you for every dollar, every lie, every year you stole from him, just started the most explosive legal action in reality TV history, aiming at his own team member and wife. Doug didn't cry. He didn't beg, he lawyered. Now Jackie, Christie, and Chris Webber are formally being sued for paternity fraud, identity deception, emotional distress, and over $4,600,000 0 cents in damages. After DNA bombshell confirmed Chris Webber is the real father of Jackie's daughter. This is about papers, contracts, back child support, and the legacy they sought to pilfer. Not only about betrayal now. Jackie's brand is failing, Chris's sponsorships are vanishing, and Chantel finds herself caught between two last names, one courtroom, and a lie that never stops widening. Doug was quiet for 2 decades. Today, he is coming for everything. The court system is open since this is not only payback, this is the official reckoning of Jackie Christie's empire. One thing is to be betrayed, another is to discover the daughter you reared for 20 years was never yours, then to be publicly humiliated and misled by your wife and subtly teased by your own teammate Doug. Christie was about to sue them both into the ground, not about to just walk away. Now the court records are public. Originally filed in Los Angeles County Superior Court, the lawsuit resembles the storyline of a Netflix courtroom drama, only this is not fiction. This is Doug, Christie against Jackie, Chris Webber and Christie's boss. The charges have nuclear resonance. Allow me to dissect it here. Doug is suing Chris and Jackie for intentional emotional distress and paternity fraud, civil identity manipulation, public misrepresentation for financial gain, and indeed, retroactive financial damages going back 20 years. Total amount sought for $600,000 0 cents. And yes, Doug's lawyers say that number could rise as new evidence surfaces. And what proof exists? Oh, every lie is right here. Every receipt, every whispered secret Jackie and Chris considered would never see daylight is now exhibit. Doug's legal team included a second test showing a 99.998% paternity match to Chris Eber and DNA test findings verifying zero biological connection to Chantel. Let that sink in. Jackie's journal entries where she admitted knowing the truth, the leaked voicemail warning Chris to stick to the narrative, and the shocking clause in her VH1 contract where she claimed she was raising her and Doug's biological child. False claims. Jackie built a TV career, a brand, and a public image off a lie. Today, Doug wants every dollar that lie earned. But wait, manager, there is more. Doug is demanding a complete public correction of the birth certificate, not only pursuing riches. He wants Chris Webber listed as the biological father on all future public records, as well as in private documents. Jackie is spinning. This is about permanent correction, not about pettiness. Those sources claim she collapsed in her foyer and cried for 2 hours straight when she was served the lawsuit. This isn't the emotional breakdown of an innocent woman. This is the panic of a fraudster who just got legally cornered. And Chris Webber is silent. No public reaction, no statement, just rumors of him changing legal counsel overnight and firing his publicist. But let's discuss the court approach, since Doug's team is coming for president, not just for headlines. Prominent Beverly Hills litigation shark lead attorney told the media, "This isn't just about Mr. Christie. This is about any man who's ever raised a child under a lie. We will classify paternity fraud as a major civil offense with repercussions under serious actionability guidelines." Translation, they're laying a legal blueprint for every future betrayed father in America. not only dragging Jackie down, boss, this could change the rules right now. Let us discuss money, since that is where things get messy. Doug's attorneys produced a chronology of losses. Private school expenses, $180,000, 0 cents towards college expenses, $95,000, 0 cents in medical coverage, $72,000, 0 cents. Vacations, Sweet 16 party worth $230,000, 0 cents with Bow Wow, $75,000, 0 cents for sporadic expenses, gifts, vehicles, clothing. $150,000, 0 cents in brand damage for Doug's name from false paternity narratives, $500,000, 0 cents emotional value assessment, Jackie's VH1 income and sponsorships, totaled $1,880,000, 0 cents, acquired with lies, not including Chris Webber's share, which Doug is demanding split 50/50 between the two co-defendants, $1,500,000, 0 cents, plus a total of $4,600,000, 0 cents, and counting. Jackie and Chris might thus share responsibility for more than $2 million, 0 cents apiece. Here comes where it gets even more messy. According to one insider, Doug's legal team asked preliminary subpoenas on Jackie's financial records and discovered, among other hidden payments, shell accounts and consulting fees from reality TV companies that never existed. Jackie, the court, might suggest $0 cents and counting. Jackie and Chris might thus share responsibility for more than $2 million, 0 cents apiece. Here comes where it gets even more messy. According to one insider, Doug's legal team asked preliminary subpoenas on Jackie's financial records and discovered, among other hidden payments, shell accounts and consulting fees from reality TV companies that never existed. Jackie, the court, might suggest a televised trial along with a criminal review of the falsified birth certificate. This is a slow motion fall of a constructed empire, not only a scandal now. Though Doug's legal team was planning a clean, calculated takedown in court, Jackie was backstage doing what she does best, plotting. If you believed Jackie Christie's scandal couldn't get any worse, just wait until you hear what she did next. Sources close to the case now confirm that Jackie sought to reach out privately to Chantel, not to apologize, not to explain, but rather apparently to buy her silence during early deposition scheduling. You are correct in reading this. A woman who spent 20 years hiding the truth about her daughter's father is now accused of attempting to pay that same daughter to evade court testifying. Here's what supposedly occurred. 2 days following Doug's legal team's request for a witness notary for Chantel, Jackie's assistant reportedly delivered a sealed envelope containing $15,000, 0 cents in cash, and a handwritten note simply saying, "You don't have to get dragged into this. Let your folks deal with it. I'll look after you, as always has been my habit. Boss, that's witness tampering, plain and simple." Tell didn't participate. She took pictures of the envelope, kept the note, and sent it all directly to Doug's attorney. Jackie received a cease and desist within several hours, and the court was informed.
We just want to go have fun, goof off, play some amazing places.
And take Ken's money.
Whoa.
Jackie's reply: looking disturbed, she went on Instagram Live at 2:00 a.m., rumbling about loyalty and people switching sides before abruptly stopping the stream mid-sentence. Commenters lit her. Girl, you sought to purchase the silence of your own daughter. Jackie, this is criminal court tampering with a witness while the entire world is watching, not basketball wives. You deserve every loss coming. And just like that, Jackie went from scandalous to criminally reckless. But that's not the only move. Being exposed since depositions formally started, the leaks boss are wild. Doug's official statement, taken under oath, has now produced partial transcripts. Here's a true quotation that grabbed media attention. I spent 20 years defending Jackie's reputation. Now I see I was covering the lie, not the woman. Mic dropped. Then Doug went on to testify about the psychological toll and admitted, there were times I felt something was off, but I ignored it. I valued my family. Though love does not pardon dishonesty, I felt I was acting morally. Jackie's turn arrived next. Her account turned out to be disastrous. She claimed she never meant to hurt Doug, but admitted she felt the child wasn't his since year one. She stumbled through questions, contradicted her earlier remarks. One important interchange proceeded like this. Attorney, did you specifically mark Mr. Christie as the biological father on Chantel's birth certificate? Jackie, I said his name. Attorney, so you orally confirmed paternity without a test? I didn't list him, the nurse just asked. Yes, but under stress, boss. It was emotional. Chris Webber finally showed up when things couldn't spiral harder. No lawyers, no entourage, just him gently walking slowly into the deposition room like a man headed for execution, and what he said changed everything. The court isn't buying emotional excuses for fraud. Jackie told me she wasn't sure. I knew the possibility existed. Though silence can be just as destructive, I stayed quiet to guard Doug and her. Boost, acceptance under oath. That quotation alone put him in liability for financial fraud and emotional harm. To be clear, Doug's lawyer wasted no time. You deliberately let another man raise your daughter for 2 decades without telling him the truth. Chris pauses. Indeed, and I shall regret it all my life. Too little, too late. Now the court possessed all it required. A synthetic identity, a confirmed DNA match, and a conspiratorial silence. Public damage directly connected to Jackie and Chris, together with a bribe attempt. Doug was behind the scenes, moving in silence but gathering momentum. Through his attorney, he made one public statement. This is about responsibility, not about retribution. A lie I never asked to carry changed my life. The people who created that lie would answer for it, and the internet ate it up. Justice for Doug began to trend, now popular in advocacy circles. Paternity fraud laws even included verified accounts posted. Duncan Christie presents the face of subdued retribution. You take your power back like this. Jackie's brand was withering. Her real estate company dropped her. A podcast she co-hosted was canceled. And even her reality TV syndication rights were stopped for moral clause breaches. Boss, Chris is melting down in private while she is bleeding professionally, financially, and emotionally. One insider reportedly sent a text message, supposedly from Webber, to his team. This is spiraling. I merely wanted it buried. I never expected court. Boss, right now the front page is this scandal. Globally, even internationally, gossip sites picked it up. Chantel is formally changing her legal last name, citing emotional damage and personal identity reconstruction as her reasons in an exclusive interview snippet leaked by a publishing outlet. This is about the truth about being allowed to live in reality, not a script my mother created, Chantel says. Then she dropped the title of her upcoming book, Built on Lies: My Life as Someone Else's Daughter. Boss, that book might permanently bury Jackie's image, but right now we turn our attention back to the courtroom, since here is what lies ahead. Jackie might be subject to criminal charges for her attempt at a bribe. Should Doug's team split claims? Chris Webber is getting ready for a second civil lawsuit. Doug has not only filed for damage awards, but also for official reimbursement orders. The judge is considering a motion to televise the whole trial. You heard that right. This trial, Jackie against Doug. Chris in the crosshairs might soon go on public viewing, testimony, breakdowns, cross-examinations, all of it, and VH1. Watching closely, they are determining whether to cut ties with the Basketball Wives legacy and rebrand totally. Doug has stayed cool, collected, and deliberate meanwhile. Sources claim he turned down every single reality TV pitch presented, including offers to turn the crisis into a docuseries. Why?
Life's better when your stuff is protected under our roof.
Who's coming in the driveway?
As he apparently informed his staff, I didn't ask for the spotlight, but now that I have it, I'll use it to tell the truth, not to entertain. Boss, that's power, that's class. That's a man lost everything and yet walked out with dignity. Jackie is cornered by the court, by the media, by her own daughter. These days, all that remains is the decision. Desperate to see the fall of two once legendary names, Jackie Christie and Chris Webber, reporters lined the walls, cameras waited outside, even former NBA colleagues and reality TV producers slipped in through side doors. This was not just court. This was closure 20 years in the making, and at the center of it all, Doug Christie sat silent, focused, and unbreakable. Opening words marked the start of the trial, and Doug's attorney arrived swinging. The two people Mr. Christie trusted most manipulated, misled, and defrauded him, the court will find. This is about identity theft, emotional abuse, and the weaponizing of loyalty, not only about DNA. The sob story was not being bought in that room since the receipts were already on the table, and the DNA tests, the fake birth certificate, the voicemail to Chris, the journal entry, the Bible poll were there. Jackie's lawyer tried to paint her as a confused young mother who made a mistake in a time of emotional upheaval. Then came day 2, the day Jackie stood all black with false humility, seeping from every movement. Initially composed, Jackie tried to keep it together. I loved Doug. I still do. Simply said, I didn't know how to tell him the truth without losing everything. Under close inspection, though, the mask cracked quickly. The attorney, did you consciously let Mr. Christie believe Chantel was his child for more than 20 years? Jackie, sure. Attorney, just yes or no, further background is not required. Did that belief help you personally, financially? Jackie, sure. Boom. Whispers permeated the courtroom, and then the attorney dropped the hammer. Attorney. attorney. Would you describe your brand? Your book deals, your public persona would have existed without that lie. Your TV contracts reflect that. Jackie blinks and shakes. Jackie, no! She broke right then, hands shaking, red eyes, mascara running. After the court called Chantel Christie to the stand, the woman who had once controlled every basketball wife's reunion with her mouth started to fall apart under oath and then got worse. Silence enveloped the room as she approached, calm, strong, ready. She sat down, fixed her mother in the eye, then inhaled deeply. Her voice was clear. I didn't know the truth about my paternity until this year, and when I did, it wrecked me. Her account was exact, raw, and tragic. She clarified why Chris Webber would sporadically show up at family events, as well as Jackie's lies to her on everything from her father's identity. I once asked my mother, why does Uncle Chris always cry when he sees me? She said he was merely emotional. I was too young to know the truth, that he was not exactly an uncle. She wasn't done, though gasps were involved. Raised as a brand accessory, not a daughter, Chantel claimed she felt used, manipulated, and publicly exploited. Her most terrible line being, "Doug was the only parent in my life who never lied to me until he found out the lie he'd been given. Even the judge was shook. He may not be my biological father." Jackie sobbed nonstop, but Chantel never turned away.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
She closed with a one-sentence instant viral hit, "Though truth hurts, lies destroy people. Boss, I missed my childhood to see someone else perform. Truth hurts, lies are different." The courtroom exploded in cheers.
Yeah, you're gonna do it like that. Can you hear me now? My guy, shout out to you, man.
Even the judge had to quiet the assembly. The result is a unanimous one: Jackie Christie found liable for emotional manipulation and paternity fraud. Civil lies, financial distortion, ordered to pay damages of $2,900,000, 0 cents. Chris Webber was found joint liable for willful concealment of paternity and emotional damage through prolonged silence, and ordered to pay Doug $1,700,000, 0 cents in restitution. Doug was cleared, redeemed, and declared the legal victim of a 2-decade deception scheme. Paparazzi swarm as Jackie exits the courtroom. She had nothing to say. Her staff sent a mild statement saying, "We respectfully disagree with the decision and are weighing all alternatives. Just silence and shame, no apology or responsibility." Chris Webber, on the other hand, left a public note that evening saying, "I made mistakes. I kept quiet far too long. More than anything, I hope Chantel knows how proud I am of being her father." Doug might forgive me one day, too little too late. But the last twist is Chantel chose to speak in a press conference outside the courtroom, stepping to the mic with Doug at side. While the courts informed us what the law states, here is what my heart tells me. Doug Christie is the only father I have ever known. My soul will carry that name. Chris might be my biological link, but Doug is my family. She hugged Doug in front of every camera. From a distance alone,
Hey, she destroyed these people. These people's lives was probably, at least that daughter. That daughter's life was fine. She was living. She didn't just destroy this young lady. This shit is not cool, man. You women got to take accountability.
Every headline Jackie saw, the woman who built an empire on lies just lost everything. Her public reputation, her herd, her daughter, and her husband, her legacy. All gone. Doug, he did not celebrate, he did not ridicule. Head held high, he left the courtroom carrying a fresh goal. Later on, he said he was working with a national organization to combat paternity fraud, supporting fathers all around who had been caught in lies exactly like his. This is the story of thousands, not only mine anymore. I won't stop until every one of them has a voice. Boss, you end a scandal with intent, not with noise. Who really walks away clean now the lies are dead and buried? Over 2 decades, Jackie Christie pretended, performed, and made money off of a family built on lies. Should Jackie be arrested for this? Chris Webber let another man raise his child while smiling in his face, and now he wants forgiveness. Doug gave him everything, and they fed him
The man came to every family function. It's not cool, man. That shows that he really wanted to be a part of his daughter's life, but he's holding this secret for this evil woman. Women, y'all got to take accountability. Everybody does, but you ladies, y'all the creators of life and shit. Y'all got to take accountability. You know, taking accountability is not an easy thing, but it's mandatory. It's mandatory because, all right, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Taking accountability is like that drop. After you go up on a roller coaster and you know you about to drop, there's nothing left but that drop. That drop is the taking accountability, right? And you women, y'all like to, not just women, but in this sense, we're gonna talk about women because we just watched this video. But you women, you guys like to get on the roller coaster, but before it drops, you want to get off. You don't want to take no accountability. You want to ride it, all that, swirls, all that. But right before it when it get that last click, that click, 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 and you know ain't nothing else but the drop left, you want to stop the ride and get off. Y'all can't keep doing this. You're ruining people. You're ruining yourselves. We got to get it together, man. Justice for Doug, man. He already had justice. Chris Webber, I want to know how he feels in this, bro. Because I honestly feel like he wanted to be in that girl's life. He just was keeping this lie going because of this woman. I think he would have told him. He should have told him. He should have said, fuck her. You know what? But once you in so deep, and your daughter calling you Uncle Chris, and once you in so deep, it's like, fuck, you know, I understand that, but look what happened now. It was gonna happen regardless, so you had to, you know, rather be you to initiate it. It's crazy. But I wanna try to see what Chris talking about. think that's it. Nope, that ain't it. There it is. Ooh, there it is.
Very soon, I'll be closing the doors of my handcrafted bag studio forever. This is your last chance.
Imagine being told the woman who built an entire TV empire on lies, manipulation, and reality show theatrics just got annihilated by a few text messages. Yep. Sit down for this because Chris Webber didn't just show up to court looking for justice. He showed up with receipts, real ones, screenshots, voice memos, bank transfers, all laced with Jackie Christie's name, voice, and scandal, soaked fingerprints. And guess what? These weren't just I miss you texts. These were hide the money, Doug can't find, out and wait for it, tell Chantel she was an accident. Levels of dark. Yeah, you heard that right. In a packed courtroom, Chris Webber exposed every inch of Jackie's double life, from fake charities and secret hotel stays to messages hinting at a second. Abortion. Jackie allegedly hid from Doug during her affair with Chris. The jury gasped. Doug nearly fainted. Jackie shaking silent and completely exposed. So how did we get here? How did Chris get those texts? And what else is Jackie hiding behind? Her surgically curated facade? Oh, trust me, the rabbit hole goes way deeper. Let's dig in. What started as a routine day in court turned into a complete media meltdown because Chris Webber didn't just testify, he detonated. Imagine the sound of every jaw in the room hitting the floor at the same time, because the second...
Oh, Chris Webber had to testify.
He pulled out those texts, it was game over for Jackie Christie. We're talking about messages so wild, so damning, that even the court reporter had to stop typing for a second just to whisper, "What the actual?" But before we go full blast into this, let's back up, because this whole thing was never just about the courtroom. This was decades of lies, lust, and loyalty exploding in front of flashing cameras. A trembling judge and a daughter stuck in the middle. Chris Webber walked into that courtroom with nothing but a slim black folder by the time he left Jackie's. Image was scorched. Doug was begging his lawyer for mercy, and Chantel rumored to have left the courthouse in tears, refusing to speak to either of them. So what was in those texts, who sent what, and why did Chris feel the need to make them public? Now let's peel this all back, boss. Part 1, incoming full 1,200-word blast. Starting now 3 weeks ago, no one could have predicted that Chris Webber, cool, collected, always behind the scenes, would be the one to light the courtroom on fire. But on the morning of the hearing, when he stepped inside, holding that slim black folder and wearing a deadpan expression, even the security guard watching the door looked uncomfortable now. Picture this. Jackie Christie was sitting in the front row, head held, high like she wasn't seconds away from being emotionally decapitated. Doug was looking drained, pale, and barely blinking. And Chantel wasn't even in the room, allegedly told by her therapist to avoid high-trigger environments. This wasn't just a sentencing hearing for Doug. This was karma delivering VIP front row. Tickets to a truth that had been hiding in plain sight for far too long.
I'm Christie Nome, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Thank you, President Donald J. Trump, for securing our border.
Hit that like, subscribe.
What's up,
Show
party
your
people?
boys some love. You know what I'm saying?
Man, the internet is undefeated, huh? That's why I'm gonna give this friendly reminder to some of my friends out there that you can't believe everything you read, see, or hear on
This is Chris Webber responding, guys.
the internet. Especially when they're all lies. No proof,
What?
just made up lies.
Whoa.
So I'm gonna take this opportunity to issue my one and only advisory. If you have a platform and you have content with my name attached to lies, take it down now. And to those that started the rumor, that started the lies and then continued to spread the lies, I dare you not to take it down. I dare you to repeat a lie. You're not going to defame my name. And of course, the lawyers are in action. Of course, the lawyers are in motion and are motivated.
So is this real, Chris, or what? Let us know.
If anyone else that wants some insight and a story or some tools of how to get through the distractions, how to stay focused during the bull, go get my book. By God's grace. By.
Hey, y'all go and get that book, By God's Grace. I might have to go check that out. I want to see or hear what Chris got to say. Because if this is some BS, man, I don't even know why they bringing him into this. You know what I'm saying? If this is some BS, they making it seem like court documents, but they ain't showing no transcripts. They just stating shit. They not, you know how we get to the bottom of shit. When we go over there to Whack 100 or whoever, they got the work. They reading the paperwork straight off the paperwork. So technically, the man's innocent until you put some work out. So when we see that work, then we'll say that Chris Webber is the father and all this shit is true. Because I feel how he feel too. If this shit ain't true, why in the hell are y'all dragging my name? Why? Why are y'all dragging my name? Why am I coming up in this shit? This is some BS. Come on, keep cooking, Chris.
By God's grace. By God's grace. It's crazy. The enemy wants us to be distracted, man. You gotta put your blinders on. Stay focused, man.
That's right.
Stay focused, man. Stay focused.
Yo, what's up? This bruh man from the fifth floor, and you tuned in to Forgotten Kings TV.
Bruh man.
We probably need to really address the thing where my brother from the Fab Five, Chris Webber, name is in the news now. And Chris Webber has a video out now where a lot of stuff he's not happy about. And I want to say to the brother Chris Webber, man, do you know once your name is out there, all of these people who do these, especially the AI videos, they're cowards who are going to hide behind a credit card that you're going to pay lawyers to go and deal with, and it's going to lead to so many dead ends. I know what it feels like to be misrepresented when people speak.
Straight up.
Trust me. But brother Chris, man, they gonna come up with, they gonna lie about this, they gonna lie about that. It's part of this world called the internet. You really can't believe everything you see on the internet that they say about people. But
it's entertaining.
What the fuck is true? That's what we want to know. Is everybody off with what they say, brother Chris, about what's happening? Because people get information and people say, I don't like the fact that people say, oh, he talking about Corey and 5150. So we didn't say nothing about him like that because I watched again what we said.
Yeah.
Chris, you said you heard.
Right.
And we heard things about this, that, and the other. And I was talking about having people over around your wife, and I stand on everything I said. Because I wouldn't have no man in my house hanging with my wife. So with that being said, I would say to my brother Chris, who was, you know what I'm saying, phenomenal in college. He did, I mean, the NBA, he got his money, you know what I'm saying? What we want to know, since you're coming on the internet, is what happened, brother. And you used to say, it ain't none of your business, but I saw something where you was talking about it. So it is the business of the internet. Everything you put on the internet is going to be in people's business, especially if you are a famous person that people want to be able to say something bad about anyway. Because I get people saying stuff about me, and I watch some of it, and I'll be like, you're so off. What are you talking about? That's not even what happened. But whatever happened, brother Chris, maybe you should put it out there on the internet instead of putting it out there about the lawyers, because, man, you ain't finna chase these garbage ass pages of AI down with lawyers because it's too expensive. The world is full of scumbags. They're gonna do things to not be straight up. They don't care about being straight up. In fact, some of them want to misrepresent the truth. We hope that you can tell the truth about what happened, because the truth is the truth, and if it comes out in bits and pieces, why don't you stand on what you did? Because something happened, didn't it? Huh? Something happened, brother. You know what I'm saying? Something happened, and it's out there. And I think it's better if you give your word about what happened instead of saying, you know, hey, lawyers on deck. It was good to see him again, too, because I ain't seen Chris Webber.
Yeah, really.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, here go brother Chris. A lot of us, especially people who are basketball fans, we know you. We root for you, but if you was smashing old boy wife, put it out there, because it's out there.
Yeah, we were the last of the people.
People talk
it was
about
all
like,
over the,
man, almost everybody smashes somebody's wife, man. This is America, man. Ain't nobody straight up, man. The women ain't straight up, the men ain't straight up. But I tell you what, the truth is something that has no alibi. That's what I say.
100%.
Hey, you know, I don't want none of y'all to say nothing about it if you don't feel to say nothing.
I mean, you know, I know with ex-athletes, especially ones on that level, a Chris Webber level, dominant, they're not used to, you know, just people having opinions, or they don't really understand the landscape of what we do as artists. We're just talking about public information.
Internet story.
And it was really out,
Yeah, so it's been
we
out
ain't
there.
hiding behind AI. We right here.
But we love you. But as comedians, you know, we're sensitive, but we also have thicker skin than the average person. And most athletes ain't used to the level of scrutiny that we're, you know, that we.
No, but hold on. Let me say something. I ain't no coward, motherfucker. Yeah. If you was fucking that dude's wife while they was married, you a dirtbag for that.
Straight up.
You a dirtbag for that. If that's what happened. But I'm saying, like, that don't make me hate you, because I done fuck people's wife. Huh? It's just I'm not Chris Webber. So it ain't like it is with you, brother. They this is something where they got somebody that major broadcasting companies have put money behind. So of course they gonna run with it more with you. But yeah I mean, girl get smashed.
Don't get mad at us, man. Men that relationship with Jalen Rose.
Say that again.
I said, don't be mad at us. Men that relationship with Jalen Rose, man.
What you say about Jalen Rose?
Jalen Rose, they ain't seen eye to eye in years because of something that happened in Michigan with the booster.
Who ain't seen eye to eye?
Jalen Rose and Chris Webber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's something that I would publicly work on that, because you brothers made history together. You know, show us who you are through the relationships, you know, you build and cherish, man. But all this hearsay shit that's going on with the shit we talk about on these podcasts, man, that ain't shit, man. We love you out here.
What about the sensitivity of athletes? It's crazy because I saw Jalen Rose on the plane, and I think Jalen Rose is a very pleasant individual. I think he goes out his way to be a good guy.
Right.
I really feel that about Jalen Rose.
Right.
But even though he was speaking to me, one day when I said something about old girl on ESPN.
Oh, that's right, because he was married to her?
Yeah, I could tell it kind of bothered him. But I'm like, that ain't even your wife no more. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't trying to bring up Jalen Rose and throw Jalen Rose's name in the motherfucking mix on some bullshit. But what I'm saying is, it seems like athletes are very sensitive about
their
business. But homie, if you messing with a Molly off ESP, you dig? Your business gonna be out there. I love you, brother. I know Jalen Rose a good guy.
They said they made up. Well, that's cool. I mean,
I'm glad they made up because, like you said, they part of history. But, I'm just bringing out these sensitive athletes, man. Come on, man.
But I think what it is, Corey, too, is that just what you said. They are athletes. They're not. This is new. This world of internet and people having access to people's business. Or what they think is their business, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
right,
they're not used to that. So even though they're sensitive athletes, I don't think they're not used to that.
That's the word, D. Yeah. The business they think because their salary is put out there.
Right.
A lot of their business is put out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we can't clash with people like Chris Webber and Jalen Rose on no sensitive shit.
Nah, hell
I'm never finna talk crazy about Jalen Rose or Chris Webber because I would be lying if I didn't. Man, I was like, oh, it's awesome to watch these guys put it together. You get what I'm saying? That'll be some hypocritical shit. But we fucking hoes. Is that? Look, Doug Christie's wife would be considered a whore.
If this is true, right? Yeah.
What? We fuck hoes. If it get out there, don't hide from it, because it's nothing to be embarrassed about. Now, if you are messing with men, I don't give a fuck how great an athlete you are. You got to get...
I'm an Eero Outdoor 7. That's right. You can Wi-Fi outside now. This is fine. Feeling strong.
Wow. Dude is committed.
All their devices connected to this guy.
Style and substance. In the GMC Sierra. Or current eligible GMC owners get 0% APR with a total value of over $11,000 on this Sierra 1500 model.
But I'm saying, ain't nothing to be ashamed of. Smashing 304s like the people who want the internet dollars to say. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's misinformation out there, man. You can't fight it out. Like it's this dude in Africa. His name is O'Shea Duke Jackson. He puts misinformation out there about people. Don't mean I don't like him, but I just wish O'Shea Duke Jackson would understand. Brother, you in Africa, you don't know what's happening down here in these motherfucking streets. I love you to death, but you in Africa. He said I was talking about Ari Spears on this one rant I went on. I wasn't talking about Ari Spears. I was talking about the one dude. I'm trying, because I say Ari Spears' name because he sued us.
Right.
I normally call him the gooey raccoon. But I wasn't talking about Ari Spears when I was talking about this comedian that was bogus. I was talking about somebody else. You know what I'm saying? You ever seen the Players Club? You remember the dude who was in there with Ice Cube? On the Players Club? He got knocked out by Michael Clark Duncan? Blah. I ain't gonna never say his name, but I'm just saying, it's the wrong dude, and I say like, O'Shea, you gotta make sure you know. You can't make a video saying, he's talking about Ari Spears.
Right.
I'm like, bro, come on now. I wasn't talking about Ari Spears. I don't got a show where I'm talking about Ari Spears all the time. I mean, Ari Spears, he's a piece of shit. He made a video where he looking at little boys like this and thought that was funny.
Right.
That ain't funny, motherfucker. When people show the truth in their art. That's another thing. People show the truth in their art. When you see people making videos like that, I'm not saying it's true, but truth is in our art as entertainers. And I'm jumping a lot of places, but I'm just letting it be known, man. Misinformation on the internet is everywhere. I don't listen to AI pages. Once I start hearing that voice talk, he heard. I'll be like, cut it off.
Yeah.
I don't listen to AI pages. That's garbage. I want to look at you in your eye and see who you are talking and what you standing on. And Chris, when you see them AI pages, man, you'll be throwing away so much money chasing them garbage ass pages. I heard they may be shutting down them AI pages.
Really?
Well, you have to stand up and show who you are.
When you upload a video, there's a link, there's a box you check that says, is this AI or altered material?
Yeah.
Yep, so yeah, for sure.
I think it's cowardly to put out a lot of AI pages. I don't think people should watch AI pages because it's a voice that's been generated gossiping.
Right, there's no one taking
and lying a lot.
No one taking accountability.
Right, there's nobody taking account. Right, so I'm just saying. We saw you, brother Chris. We bold enough to say it because it ain't no hate on this end. We got love for you, dog. But if you smashing old boy wife, we want to hear about it because that hoe was crazy. That hoe was telling that man he can't go nowhere without her.
Yeah.
That man used to do little signs up in the stands. I heard every time he scored, saluting his wife, and she getting saluted in bed by on the Fab Five side of the game. You dig what I'm saying?
Possibly.
You know, athletes do it to regular people all day long.
I don't want to slander the brother. But hopefully we get some information from him and we get, you know what I'm saying, the real. We get a piece of the story, like what's going on, brother. You know what I'm saying? But until next time, it's your boy Cinco Benz the Man, trying to get 100 grand, and I can't do it without you. Hit that like and hit that subscribe. Show your boy some love. You already know what it is.